Dzień dobry. Today I wanted to talk about foreign music, but more specifically, music that isn't in English. Now, not all of us, but I think some of us who have spoken English as their first language tend to dismiss music that's in a foreign language. Again, I'm saying not all of us do this, but I'm just talking about the general English-speaking public sort of do this sometimes. And I was just sort of interested why this is. Like, for instance, if you went to some random person on the street and asked them what their favorite song was in a foreign language, would they be able to come up with something, or would they not? Now, I'm not saying it's a bad thing to not know any songs that are in a foreign language, but I was just wondering why most of the songs that we know are in English, and maybe only like one or two songs that we know that are in a foreign language. From what I've seen, most non-speaking English countries actually know a lot of songs that are in both English and in their own language. But I'm sure that this has a lot to do with the fact that English, right currently, is almost a universally speaking language. Like, for instance, if a German person didn't know how to speak Russian to a Russian person, they would have to probably use English to talk to the Russian person. And if the Russian person didn't know how to speak German, more than likely that Russian person might know some English and might be able to make some sort of communicating connection between the German person. Because from what I've seen and heard, I think most foreign countries kind of make you have to speak English. I don't know if it's forced in schools in other countries to speak English, or it's just an option. But I just know that English is usually a very main core language that you have to learn if you have to take a foreign language. I have a neighbor who's from Korea, and she said that when she was in high school, English was like a core class, so I guess she had to take it. But even though she was taught English, that didn't necessarily mean that she knew completely how to speak English. It wasn't until she moved to America that she kind of had to relearn English over again and practice it more often. But despite all that, even if she didn't really know a whole lot of English, I'm pretty sure she probably knew some songs that were in English. There's not a whole lot that we can say about pop music from other countries, unless if those pop music artists from other countries actually know how to speak English or had English as a first language. But most artists who come to this country will usually have songs that are in English, as opposed to having songs, or most songs, in another language. An example of this would be the band Phoenix. Phoenix is an actual French band, but most of their songs are in English, and they're pretty popular around here in America. But I believe if Phoenix wrote and sang most of their songs in French, they probably wouldn't be as popular in here in America as they would be in France. Let's just face it, we just wouldn't understand them. Now, because we as English speakers have no true dire need to learn another language, because technically we already speak the universal language, not all of us, again, but some of us just have no interest whatsoever to learn another language. And because some of us don't know a different language, we may become slightly ignorant towards things that are in another language. And this might mean some of the music too. Some really ignorant people will say, "I do not like this song. What is he saying? I don't understand. It's not in English." But why should a language barrier stop us from liking the music? If you really don't know what they're saying, just look it up on Google. There's always an English translation for everything. I can understand why we need to know what the song means in English, because I certainly don't want to listen to a song that I really like that's in a foreign language and then later on find out that what it really means is "Death to America, death to America." I think that we're also just used to singing along to songs that are in English, and we think that it'll take a lot longer to sing songs that are in a foreign language and learn it phonetically. But I just think it's really fun to learn songs in another language, because not only am I learning a new song, but I'm also learning parts of a new language, and I'm learning some words in another language in a fun and engaging way. And I have like a whole bunch of songs in a foreign language on my iPod. I like to listen to like 60s French pop. I've got like some Polish rap and rock and pop music. I have like at least one Italian song on there, and then I have like a whole bunch of Latino songs. So I have a very good variety of stuff. Even though I might not know the meanings behind all of the songs, I still enjoy listening to it because the songs are just really catchy. And again, this isn't everybody in America or any other place that speaks English for that matter, just some of us, because I know that somewhere out there there's somebody who is just like this. So in short, don't just diss a song because the song isn't in your language. Learn from it. Listen to it, learn it phonetically, go on the internet, find out what it really means, and in the end you might actually learn a new language. And you might learn something from it. And you might just impress someone with what you've learned. So if you want, you can write down a comment down below about what you think about this. But don't be a rude troll if you totally disagree with me. Just be nice about it, okay? Just have a nice way of telling me I don't think that's what it is. But don't be like, oh, you don't know anything. Because, I mean, obviously I don't know everything. But I don't know. I thought this was something to talk about. And also, down in the description bar, I probably will also put some foreign music in another language other than English that you might be interested in. Alright guys, adios. Hank, I will see you on Monday. Just kidding.